The alarm, the coffee, the drive, the work, the bed. The alarm, the coffee, the drive, the work, the bed. The alarm, the coffee, the drive, the work, the bed. If that sounds familiar to you, if that sounds like your life, then you're probably like me. Every day you crawl in and out of that 5x7 cube of indifference, sitting in that, cost-effective Office Max chair with lumbar support, and you sit there and you wonder, is this all there is? Is this what my life has been reduced to? Why don't you try doing a podcast and start talking about it like me? I mean, that's what I'm doing, so we'll see how far it goes. But, it's got to be better than, settling for food days and casual Fridays at a job you hate. And, plus you can literally make a podcast about anything, just, find a niche and exploit it, the Anchor app is pretty cool because you can, pretty much use the mic on your phone, and the app pretty much does the rest, and plus, you don't want to do any extra work. I mean, you're already busy. I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you got dinner to cook and kids to feed, bills to pay, et cetera, and you need an app that's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. So let me read what they got here. So check this out. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free, which is true, and it's ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast, and that means you can get paid right away to podcast. In fact, that's what I'm doing pretty much right now by reading, quote, in quotes, this ad. So, it's worth a try. I mean, it's basically, like I said, it's a one-stop shop for all of that. So it's like a Walmart/Target for podcasting. You can you can get a pair of slacks, grocery shop, and get an oil change. It does everything for you. All you have to do is just turn on the record button, plug in your headphones into your phone, and just do it. You could just go off and just start talking. It's user friendly. So just so you know, just go to anchor.fm/start. That is anchor.fm/start. Okay, go ahead and check that out. Let me know if you end up doing it. Maybe we can collaborate, see where it goes. Who knows? All right. Keep going.
Like in the desert,
Right. Going back to that bear crawl we were talking about, like that army crawl, where it's just like, gotta stay consistent. I got to.
Do it before the game or after?
Like before, / during. I don't know. It was before, but yeah, man. But I don't know, man. That game, like, I didn't really watch it, but like, I was just kind of keeping up with the score and just watching y'all's text. And, man, I was like, because I even said that on the podcast yesterday. I was like, man, they got to fool this one out.
Man, it was. I had my doubts at the last Leonard bucket. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
This could be the end. I was like, but the Splash Bros, they can do it. If any team can do it, these dudes can
That's
do
true.
it.
That's true. I mean, if you give anybody the benefit of the doubt, it's going to be them,
Yeah.
But
And Bill said they're the most. No, I think probably Ryan Russillo said that in the pod last night they did.
oh, okay.
That they're the most mentally toughest team in like all 4 sports.
Oh, that's interesting.
And
Wait, what podcast was this?
this was the Bill Simmons podcast.
I mean, but like, was it a recent one?
Yeah, they did one last night right after the game.
I see. That's crazy because I was looking for that one all day today and it didn't
Really?
upload to my. It didn't upload to my my thing, and I thought that was weird because I was looking for Bill as soon as I woke up to talk about that game, and I'm like, where is his podcast? He always does like the emergency, the emergency pod. I'm like, where is it at?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yep.
Because it's still not showing up.
It's
Am I
like a
tripping?
2-hour one. It says KD gets hurt and the Warriors dig deep.
Oh man,
I
nah,
just
it didn't even.
listen to it. I was like, yo,
Nah,
right. didn't know Jerry was
Oh,
listening.
you know what? It's so stupid. I don't know if I think I accidentally unsubscribed, and I didn't even get this one. Shit, man, I'm mad. Cause I was looking for this all day. I'm like, I'm shocked that Bill didn't do a podcast today. That's just so unlike him.
Yeah.
Like, is he going through something? This is so unlike him. No, but I hit the wrong.
Consistency. He's
Oh man,
consistent,
yeah,
but
he's.
there's every reason.
Yeah, that's why I was so confusing. I was like, I know Bill got something to say about. I know he's got like theories. I know he's got something to say about this.
Yeah, he had a conspiracy theory. He had
Oh, so what'd he say?
the conspiracy theory. Ryan teased him with. Oops, there he goes.
Oh, he was trying to hop on the pod.
Right.
He can hop on anytime he wants to. give mine a boost.
Not wrong, little plug,
if you're listening, Bill.
please. Call. We can shoot our numbers.
Right. We can figure something out. We can work something out.
Just 5 minutes.
Just 5, man. Give me 3 out. That's cool. Just shout me out. 30 seconds. It won't take long. It won't take much. Go ahead. What you saying?
I think Ryan Russillo teased him about offering conspiracy theory, and Bill said that the league didn't want a Game 6 because KD was hurt.
Wait. Say that again.
So he had a conspiracy theory about Cousins, about the goaltend, and then there was a foul call. It was a moving screen call with less than a minute left. Like, they can call that.
Oh, yeah.
Play.
I saw that
They
highlight.
decided to call it with, I think it was like 40, 50 seconds left.
At that point.
It was like, really? How you calling this now? His theory is that he's stretching, but it was funny. He
All
said
right.
that since KD was hurt, the series was no longer compelling for Game 6, so they just ended tonight. So had them make the call.
That's
to give
funny.
the Raptors the ball so they can get the lead.
So straight up, like, what's the more interesting narrative kind of thing?
And like, there's no reason to stretch this out to Game 6. KD's done. Like, he's already, our story's already here. He's walked off the court, so
You know,
let's just finish it off with the Raptors winning.
yeah, like let's just finish it off. You know what, man? That I could kind of. I mean, you know what though? Ever since they kicked Draymond out of that series with LeBron, like I've just been like looking at everything sideways. So like, I mean, like I'm at the point where I'm like, yeah, it's possible. I mean, probably. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
It's entirely
it's all
possible.
about money at the end of the day. And
Right.
I think, yeah, anything's possible.
Follow the money.
Yep.
Now you know I was thinking last night. I was thinking like, if man, I was like, if Toronto wins tonight, I was thinking about tweeting. I was thinking about tweeting like, how was I gonna say it? Basically that like Drake is just is literally thinking like how many words rhyme with Kawhi. Kawhi, deny, sigh. Like we're never gonna hit the end of it. like we like the whole summer is gonna be nothing but Kawhi references in every track of his.
Drake, Raptors, Kawhi, 2019 summer. Right here. That album already.
Oh yeah, no, he's already prepared. Like he's already recorded. The album the album is already recorded. Kawhi's probably on there. He probably used his laugh. He probably he probably got the remix all set up and everything. Oh man,
Jurassic Park. Get John Williams for it. Hey, can I sample this?
Yo, can I? Yo, you know what? You already know he's got at least 5 bars about the building, the facility he owns. You know he's got at least like 5 or 6 bars like ready, just ready, like in the pocket.
Yeah, he probably has a song about each team they've beaten. Probably the Bucks.
Right.
You probably have one. You probably have 2 songs about the Warriors.
Yeah.
They have a song for Steph.
Yeah. He got a
line.
line for each one of them. he on the sidelines right now. Like, like that's all I could think about though. I was like, man, if the Raptors win tonight, man, Drake is just sitting there thinking about how many words rhyme with Kawhi right now. And like, and that's another thing that I was thinking about. I was like, how obnoxious this dude's about to get, like on a whole nother like outside of the game type stuff. Like, if I was thinking like if the Raptors win this series, man, it's just gonna be like we ain't gonna never hit the end of it.
No. I don't know. The Toronto ended up being, I think, public perception was like, oh, it'd be nice Toronto win. You know, nice fan. Nice
yeah,
people.
I had that feeling.
Overnight. Since KD got
Yeah,
hurt.
that's true.
Like, now, nobody cares, man. Everybody wants them to lose.
Nah, well, you know, but this is the thing though. Like, I felt that way too. Like, there was a part of me that was like, you know what? All right, whatever, man. At least it's not LeBron. Like it was one of those things. Like, well, at least they didn't lose to LeBron. Like, and honestly, I was thinking. I meant to tell you this last night. I'm kind of like glad there's just a new narrative in the final. You know what I mean? Like, it's been LeBron and the Warriors for so long. Like, it's kind of refreshing to just see Kawhi blow up in terms of like media. You know what I mean? Like, there's more memes about him. There's more visibility. He's like the quietest guy ever, but like there's still like an interesting story there. It's a different. It's just a different angle on the fight. It was just, I don't know. It's just refreshing.
Yeah, and he's not even forcing it. He's not.
Yeah, there's nothing contrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like LeBron. You know, holding up his hand like, oh. Was this you ask about when he got injured and whatnot? It's just like he's kind of the opposite of LeBron in that regard, where like, I mean, he's the opposite of most guys, where like he's not forcing anything. LeBron is always manipulating something. You know what I mean? Like, but Kawhi, you could tell you could tell is genuine. Like that's really who that dude is.
I'm on the ball. I'm gonna answer your question simply.
Right. It is in as few words possible, like, you know. But
my words are my game efficient.
Right, my words are one. Everything about him is so streamlined. Like I am this through and through at home. I'm this way on the court. I'm this way at the grocery store. Like, did you see that? Did I show you that that tweet about Neil Brennan put up about Kawhi? And he basically, I'm gonna botch it up, but it was hilarious. It was something to the effect of like, Kawhi seems like the type of guy to like win the finals and then come home and eat dinner, and then like his family be like, "So how was work today?" He's like, "I was fine."
So it was your business trip.
Yeah, right. That's what he said. Yeah. How was your business trip? Oh, it was good. He's just too low key. like.
Do you play basketball?
Like, what do you do? Like, he's like Tommy from Martin. Like, do you have a job? What do you do? Like, this dude is like just mysterious, like all the way around. But yeah, nah, man. I don't know, but that's kind of how I felt. Like, I'm cool with. I mean, you know, outside of Drake, I mean, I'm kind of like I'm okay. Like, I'm okay. It's like if they win, it's cool.
Quick, did you see? I know you don't like Drake. Did you see this clip where KD was walking off? They're helping him off the court, and they have a camera on Drake's reactions. He's walking
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what was his reaction? I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
Cause I want to know. Cause I'm like,
it looked like he was. I mean, he portrayed as if he was mad. He was like come on, man, like
mad, like
I hate to see this.
Oh, like he was kind of performing mad, but not really mad. Like
that's what it looked like.
Okay,
like,
got you.
Like, all right, Jay, you doing too much. Like
you trying to sell it a little.
Yeah. Like, this ain't genuine.
You overselling it. Okay. Like, oh man.
A couple notches.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna ask it like what his reaction was. But yeah,
I'm
like
sure he probably was upset, but I mean, he was laying it on.
Yeah. I mean, because I know the fans were cheering in terms of like, you know, just in general. And I if I'm Drake, I mean, I probably would do what Kyle and and what Serge did.
Right.
You know, it's like, I mean, come on now, chill. That's not cool. Like, I mean, I know we competing, but like, come on, man. Like, that's like, relax. Oh, that's it.
Man, we're just watching the clip right quick.
He does look like he's kind of putting it on a little bit. Like, it looked mad forced. Drake is such an actor, man.
I swear. He always he is. You know what? He acts like a guy that can't like the cameras on him all the time. That's funny. Yeah, man. Yeah, he kind of like he was act. You know, Drake is. He was acting like he was upset as if he was a warrior. Like he was on the Warriors team. Like, oh man, I can't believe this happened. You know what I mean? Like it's that's how out of place it looked. It was kind of like, yo, you can be like disappointed, but like
Yeah.
some of the Warriors players weren't even acting like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it just
He could just had his hands on his head, like shook his head. And,
like, oh man, this is yeah. He could have just, but you know, he's an actor. But I don't hate Drake. I'm just it's just like just in this realm, he's like annoying to me. But
I have my fill of them, but oh well.
well, you know what though? I actually heard somebody say that about Drake. Like he kind of like he's kind of like he could have no music all year, but you would still hear from him in some way, shape, or form. Like he's either featured in somebody else's song. He's gonna be at the rap. He's just gonna be around. He's just gonna be visible. Like I think that's just kind of who he is, you know.
Yeah, and it's not a. For some reason, I'm not annoyed by it, but he is always around. There's some artists I feel that are always around that I'm like,
Yeah.
please go away. Like, go work on some art. Go travel the world. Go do something. Like,
Go live.
right. They'll remain nameless because of
Just in case.
social media following.
Oh, right. Just in case this. Yeah. You know what? It's funny because I always have two minds about like what you just said. Because like I've been telling everybody like I've been texting everybody about like this podcast, and I was like, you know what? I just keep telling myself to talk like no one's listening because no one is. There is nobody really listening. I have no audience yet, and I'm still like on the ground level, and it kind of gives me that freedom to be, you know. But the flip side of that is what you were just referring to or allude to, which is like, well, I mean, you know, this is recorded, and this is in the archives forever. So who knows? Like, and you know how social media works. People can go back and dig anything up and hold you to it. So it's like.
Keep that trash bucket handy for some.
Yeah. right. Yep. Right when they need to make their point, you know. But nah, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was thinking about that, and I'm trying to find a happy medium with this whole thing, this whole podcasting thing, in terms of like.
Here's an idea. We should talk about this on the pod.
Yeah.
About having segments. Like, I was driving over here. I'm like, we should have certain segments called like cooler talk. Like you're at work.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's something.
Hey, I kind of
like
like
it
that.
ain't be cooler talk. It can
That's-
be,
That's kind of dope, man. I might have to take that cooler talk. I like that.
it could be a double meaning. That was unintended.
Yeah, no, but I just caught that. That's why I said that. I was like, cool. That actually just hit me like both ways just now. Like, oh, that's kind of how I like that. Cooler talk. Yeah. You know what's funny though? But to your point, I was actually thinking about doing segments because I was listening to another podcast the other day, and that's kind of like their whole. They do like about an hour, but like it's broken up into like 5 segments where it's like, all right, and now we've got, you know, I think one guy he does like unpopular opinions. That's like his segment, and so he's like unpopular opinions, and then he'll just go into like a whole spiel about like something that's just that he doesn't like, but everybody else likes. You know what I'm saying? Like this is just my unpopular opinion. So like, and then I think Bill Burr did one a while back, long time ago, and his older ones where he did what was it? I think it had something to do with I can't. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, but it was something along the lines of that.
Was it the segment where he would he was reading letters from listeners and giving advice? I don't know if he had a name for that.
He did do that, but he did something kind of like it was also like a bullet point underneath that. It was like a different. It was like that, but like almost tailored to something else. Okay. It was like overrated and underrated.
Okay. Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of like unpopular opinion, but he would do like, people will call in and say something they feel is overrated. and then they would talk about it, and then I might steal that. That's actually I kind of like
I
that.
like that too.
And then like, or the opposite, like somebody would call and say like, or not call in this podcast, but like email in, and he would read and be like, I feel like this is underrated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Could tweet or DM. Still call too. I don't know if you can get your number out there, but
Yeah, nah, yeah,
some number that people call
right,
voicemail.
1-800 number. Anchor that I feel like I'm doing a sponsorship now. Funny you should say that. No. But oh yeah, man, I was loopy, man. Like that was like my 17th take. Just trying to like, I'm like, I just gotta get this done, man. It's teeter-totter between like trying to get it right, but also make it sound natural, but also make it sound honest. It also make it kind of sound unique. Like it's hard to try to do sponsorships in a way that's like authentic and real, And I was trying to go for like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing because it's like, I mean, we like. It's kind of like, let's pull back the curtain a little bit and like, I want to make money. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I do enjoy doing this so far, but like, I'm trying to like quit my job. So
We know why we're here.
yeah. Who's kidding who? We know. You and I both know why we're here. And I kind of feel like that was kind of like more on brand, So,
Yeah.
but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I forget where I was going with that.
We were talking about segments, but
Yeah, segments. But yeah, man. So I don't know. Anyway, like I might steal that underrated, overrated idea. And I actually kind of texted a few people today and said, hey, like, you got any ideas on topics? Just let me know. But like, even just us recording now is really like like I told you when you got here, it's really an exercise in in just like I said last time, like these reps, man. Like just staying consistent. Like I'm literally trying to prove myself that I can just be consistent. Like, cause I initially said like, on the caption for this part, like every week, I blah 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 blah, sit down with a new guest, yada yada yada. Like it was really gonna be like once a week. Britt pitched to me two times a week. Then I just settled on one time a week. But now I'm kind of just like, let's just keep going let's just keep the momentum.
Yeah.
Because it's too easy to lose momentum, and that's with anything. Like it's too easy to lose. Because so much of life can kind of squeeze it out.
Yeah, I think what they say is 21 days to establish a habit. I'm not saying do 21 podcasts in 21 days, but
yeah, no, I got you. If I can get close, I mean, it's kind of like what they say. If you shoot for the stars, at least you'll land amongst the moon or something like that. Like you shot for something high,
right.
But at least you kind of got in that vicinity. So
right. At least you made out the space.
You got close, right. You got close, but it's been cool, man. Like I was telling Britt, like I think I kind of got bit by this little bug of doing this. Like I feel like it's like that runner's high. Like I think I'm kind of like I got bit a little bit. Like this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
This is just becoming more fun to me, even if it doesn't amount to much. This is just becoming like a fun activity to just do, just for the sake of doing.
End of the day, that's how most things start. It's just like, hey, we're having fun. We enjoy doing it, and then
right.
A lot of stories you hear just kind of blow up out of just the joy of them just doing it.
Yeah.
It's like with basketball.
That's
with
true.
Anything.
That's true.
It's like, hey, I just enjoy doing it. I could be doing this for free.
Man, that's so true though, and you're right. I joke about it, but it's the truth because, like you said, with everything, like anything you do, you kind of have to do it just to like, because you just enjoy the practice of it. Like, I read this somewhere, but like, just enjoying the practice and the doing of something, like that's where your focus should be. We live in like America in general is so focused on like results. We're a result oriented like culture. Everything is about production and results. Show me results. You know what I mean? Like, and like I feel like there's more examples I can pull from, but everything is about like what, like tangibly. What show me what you got. Okay, it's like the "What have you done for me lately?"
And what does this lead to? Is there growth opportunity?
Yeah. It's like everything is destination oriented, and like it, that's okay. But like when it becomes out of balance, you kind of drift away from like, what about just doing stuff just to do it for the sake of doing it, and just because I like the activity of it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's kind of like what artists deal with,
Yeah, I
Like,
was just thinking that.
The balance of, you have the labels.
Yeah.
Having a certain quota
Yep.
with the
Yep.
deal.
You got to sell X amount of records. Lauryn Hill said that actually. Like, I was just gonna say that. It's funny you mentioned that because, obviously, she's one of my all-time favorite artists. But like, she said that, how did this thing I love become something I hate? It was so pure to me at one point, but like, just music and just singing.
Yeah.
And she said now it was on her Unplugged album, which was like gut wrenchingly like honest and real. But she was just so honest about like, man, you do this music thing, and then like, it's like you get claustrophobia. Like, your agents want you to do this, and your managers want you to do this, and then your camp wants you to do this, and then you just feel like the life is getting sucked out of you because then it's like, okay, where's your next album? Where's your next album? Where's your next album? And I think that's why she never came out with a second one officially, because it was like one of those things where she just felt stifled, and like, I think, like you said, I think that translates in so many ways because,
You think about KD.
I was just thinking about him too. Yeah.
It's like KD, he's a gym rat. He loves the ball.
Right.
But like, now did the Warriors pressure him to play? And that's all stuff behind the scenes we don't know. Maybe it'll come out in
We can speculate all day.
20 years from now or something.
Right. When KD's 50, he'd be like, they actually pressured me. So,
yeah. GM came in. And
it's crocodile tears. Bob Myers was crying. It's all fake. That was hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like when he sent us that text, the group text, Pastor Darren, and I was like, this is like, I could barely get through it. I'm like, this is hard to watch. Like, I don't want to see this dude cry. Like, I believe it was authentic, but I just didn't like it. Like,
it's tough, but they got a unique culture there.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I mean, because look, if it was honest, man, I'm not gonna take anything away from it. And like you said, like, I like the fact that he was at least like, look, man, if you want to put the blame on me. Like, because people are gonna want to blame somebody. Yeah. And I thought that was the takeaway. Like, at least he just came out and said, look, y'all looking for somebody, like, just put it on me. I'll be the sacrificial lamb. I'll get on the cross. Yeah.
Take it off.
Right, I would die for these warrior sins. But
they started us for the love of the game, with him, with a lot of ball players.
Yeah.
It becomes a business. It becomes about building your own brand and playing for the next contract and don't push through injuries like a la Leonard.
Yeah, right.
Year.
Yeah,
and so it's. It all starts as the love of the game, and I think the greats still have that at their core, and they find a way to remind themselves of that. Like, I'm doing this for the love of it, not for the branding, not for the follows, the endorsements, everything that comes with it.
You know what's interesting though? That's a good point, because I feel like the higher up you go with that, like the more you get more like pure, like you get to the raw material of what these guys are made of. Excuse me. So it's like you said, like when you get higher up in the hierarchy or whatever in the NBA, like it becomes like you're the top 1% of the 0.1%. Like at some point it comes down to what's inside you.
Yeah.
Like you said, like you said, I think you said on other podcasts, the dude was talking about how like they're the most mentally tough team. Like that has everything to do with like what's on the inside, and not your skill set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think Draymond's the epitome of that. It's you don't have the skill set whatsoever, but it's like his mentality.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like I always call him the soul and the heart of that team.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Like
He's kind of like the literal like metaphor of that.
yeah,
Of like, yeah. I mean, yeah, and we talked about this a while back, but that team is so it's so I don't know, those guys are so perfect for each other. It's a weird, like, it's kind of like you can't have one without the other two. It's like a weird kind of like, I'm trying to compare it to something, but like you need Steph to be who he is. But Steph being who he is allows Clay to be who he is, allows Draymond to be who he is.
Right,
Like it's like the 3 points of a triangle.
right. And they each have their own specific roles and areas, and they don't necessarily cross over.
Yeah,
with
I was
each
just about to
other.
say they don't step on each other's toes. It's like you do what you do. I know what I can't do, but I know what I can do. I know how that complements you. You know what I mean? Like it's a perfect like equilibrium almost. It's interesting, which is why they they have that strength in numbers, but they really are the embodiment of that. But yeah, man.
So I don't know where we're at now, but segment ideas. I'm back to that.
Oh yeah. I don't care. It's whatever, man. I don't have an agenda. Yeah, whatever. Go ahead. Give me some ideas. I need them.
I had another one.
And you, the listener, as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, with the cooler talk, you can have just like, hey, what to watch. what
Oh
not to
yeah.
watch.
Oh
These
yeah,
are
yeah,
subsets
yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Like yeah, okay. Like
Sports,
Netflix. Yeah, I got you.
But
I got
sports
you.
about to be dead coming up here.
Yeah, that's true.
But
But nah, I got you.
just things you talk with the cooler. Oh,
What's my notepad in?
one just hit me now. Something with social media, like you get your social break or
Yeah.
killing time.
Killing time. I like that. I like that.
But you can just have just things you saw on social media that are noteworthy to speak about,
Gotcha.
or funny, or thought provoking.
Right.
But I'm tired of the regular cliches and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something might hit you from
Yeah.
a unique source.
Right.
I'm just trying to think what I would do on my break at work.
Nah. You know what? But that's the thing. Oh. So I meant to tell you this, right? So like, I shouted out Jim Quick's podcast yesterday,
Yeah.
and you heard that, right? And so like, I actually listened to him today, right? And I was gonna say you gotta listen to this one. He was let me see.
I think I downloaded it, but I've been stuck on
Man,
it.
that one was like that one. I was so tired this morning. I couldn't process. You ever have listened to podcasts and you're like, this is really good, but my brain is not receiving any. I can tell this is gonna be really good when I'm like just more awake.
Yeah, I had that with my longer nutrition fitness ones. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, it's like I know I'm missing a lot right now. Like there's a lot here that I'm just not digesting, but I gotta come back to this.
right. How many better choices?
Yep. Yeah. So how to make better choices with Ryan Levesque. That was really good. Like, and y'all should listen to that too. But I have to go back and he was talking about like the way we make choices. He said everything we. How do you say it? So like, we all make choices like internally, and what he was saying was is like our motivator is we ask ourselves questions. That's how we make our choices. So like, what am I gonna eat? What am I gonna wear? Which route am I gonna take to work today? He said all that. We said in your brain, all that traffic in your head is all questions. You're asking yourself questions all the time. And he said so. The key to really sort of hack that and to make better choices is to ask better questions. And I'll just leave it at that. But like, go listen. It was really interesting. I was like, that's interesting. I've never really considered how our brains naturally ask questions and how to work with that.
Never thought about that either.
Yeah, I was like, huh. Now this is because I forget he gave an example about. Oh, man, I forget what it was. I think actually it wasn't really to his topic, but Jim Quick said this. He was like, it was something like, he said most people ask like, how do I feel today? But he said a better question is, who do I need to be right now? Like just as an example.
Yeah, that's good.
And I was like, now that's interesting because that changes your. He said, and the dude was even saying how like just a little tweak in how you ask yourself questions can mean like can be in all the world. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, that's really powerful. Like, yeah.
That's something I play with on and off if I remember during the day.
Yeah.
I heard similar idea. It's who do I need to be in the situation? Like before you come into whatever you're going into, whether it's work or a meeting or with a friend, whatever.
Right.
Like, how can you switch gears to say, hey, how do I want to show up? That's the question. Like, which is another way for saying like, who I need to be in the situation.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's still a part of your personality, but it's,
no, it's
or you need to be more assertive, or
it's like a I mean, you understand the sound engineer metaphor, but like it's like the mixer, the sound console, and like you turn up one fader a little bit louder than the other because I need to hear more drums or hear more keyboards and I think that's how situations work. Where it's like, what do I need to turn up a little bit? I need to kind of dial that up. Like, it's not becoming somebody different because all of that is there already. All the faders are there in you. You kind of have to like, I need to dial this up a little bit more and turn that down a little bit more, so I can kind of hear that part of me a little bit better. Right. It's like the Todd Herman Alter Ego book where like, literally he's talking about like becoming like a different version of yourself depending on the scenario, the situation.
Sidebar on that.
Yeah.
I haven't parlayed that for the rest of my life, but I have done that in workouts.
Oh, how's that been going?
Yeah, I banged out a set of like 45-pound curls. I was tired. I was like,
oh, you pressed through? Yeah.
I had on my cat music.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I was just about to ask you, who did you channel? Like, so you became Cap. You became Cap.
It depends on the song, what it's on, and I'll just channel whatever it's in the song.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
It could be, it's been Cap. It's been Name Your Avenger. It's probably been one of those.
Yeah, rotating.
Yep.
That's hilarious, man. But so just, I guess, as like a case study or whatever in the results, like, so that works. That's been working for you.
Me, like my workouts, like especially the stuff I'm doing now. I'm doing a lot more higher volume. I experiment with a lot of stuff. Right now, I'm just doing higher volume, just meaning higher reps, pushing the weight and all that.
Gotcha. Okay.
But and I'm doing sprints too. So sprints not really my thing right now. I'm making myself do it. So I'm thinking like, either I could be running a 120-yard field doing a sprint that way, or I'm running suicides on a basketball court, depending on the weather. But like, I'm running
suicides, man. I hated suicides.
I know, they still suck.
He said, "Update, they still suck."
It doesn't change. I hope it did.
Just in case you were wondering, it's still terrible, still awful.
Don't punish yourself.
Right. Shit, I remember wanting to throw up after doing suicides back in high school, but anyway.
I picture myself like, Cap will run out and meet Thanos right now with this music.
Right.
D-try, pump the arms, finish strong.
Right.
Cap won't give up.
Avengers assemble. So what would Cap do?
Yep.
WWCD. That's real though, man. But now that's cool that's been effective, man. I mean, like, and you and I talked about this, but like using the power of your imagination to help break past resistance is like a real, it's a real like hack, because imagining yourself to be somebody else, somebody that you look up to, or somebody that you kind of want to tap into for a certain moment or for a couple hours.
And it seems so childlike, like, dude. Like,
it is
like an 8-year-old thought, but like, I'm getting this work done. Like,
but it goes back to results.
Like, I'm getting it done. Like,
yeah.
If my mind's not there, I'm stopping that sprint halfway through. Like,
man, I'm going home. Right.
But
Yeah,
they
that's
train for nothing. Like,
that's true though. That's true though. I mean, nah, but like, yeah, like, what am I training for? Like, I'm not in the Olympics or anything.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's it's true. But like, it goes back to their results, but in a positive way, because it's like if it gives you results, even if it's silly, if it produces results, I guess it's worth the time. You know, like. But and I don't know, man. Like I kind of think, I don't know. It's almost like being a kid. There's a lot. There's a lot of gems in reverting to childlike behavior when you're an adult. Things you can kind of glean from, you know, and kind of still because we're taught to you grow up, you're taught to kind of like stomp out that kid thing in you. But you see the kid running around with the cape on and stuff like that. He's exercising his imagination, but yeah, man, like
It's life where it just chokes it out.
it just man, it does. But there's a lot of value in like digging it back up, and I think that's why I read so many books because it's like you kind of like searching for that. You're kind of trying to dig for your inner child in a way, that part of you that dreams and like, and like this optimistic and hopeful and all that. It's a good thing to have because it's like children don't know enough to not believe.
What age did they get stomped out officially?
That's a good question.
Like I think about it, it's completely off subject, but I think about Inside Out.
Oh,
what
yeah.
year does Bebo disappear?
Oh, that's hilarious. Bebo. I'm laughing because you remember the name. I just remember he was an elephant. Like I think that was the elephant, right? The purple elephant, or the yeah. Yeah, he was some sort of like magical, I don't know, unicorn elephant creature. But yeah, you're right though. Like it's almost like a switch is flipped.
Yeah, it's like what age does that happen? Like,
So my gut wants to say puberty, but I don't know if that's true. Like 12, 13. When your voice
still sometimes when you're a teenager, you still dream a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I was still kind of yeah, that's true. 15, 16, I was still kind of like real hopeful. Like I think I don't know, man. I mean, I'd be interested in the science of that, but at some point it definitely does kind of like you kind of conditioned out of it, I think. You know what I mean? It may be more gradual than like chronological. Like, okay, at this age, it's off. Like that light bulb is off now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm thinking more gradual.
Yeah.
Like, when's that last?
What's the range? Yeah.
Like the last bit of hope.
The last.
Just erasing off the whiteboard. Like.
Right. Where it's just like officially like just gradually. I hate to use so many Avengers references, but like the snap of the finger is like where it's just like disintegration, like half of the planet is just gone. But yeah, that's a good question, man. I mean, I think at some point it just I don't know. I mean, I think the one thing I want to say is that responsibilities help with that in some way.
Yeah.
like you just become concerned with like you just become preoccupied.
Yeah.
You just preoccupied with. Okay, I have to do this now. Okay, and then I have to do this now. I have to graduate, and then after I graduate, I have to, I have to look for a job, and then after that, I have to get, I gotta get a car. Then I get an apartment. You know what I mean? Like,
I was just gonna think, college.
Yeah, you just
somewhere junior year.
Yeah,
senior year or something.
Yeah, right. Where it starts to kind of transition out, where like you're expected to like. I don't know, man. In a weird, it's just responsibilities. That's whenever the age of responsibilities kicks in. I think that's when Bebo, whatever his name was, drifts away.
And granted, it could be college, or it could be sooner than that. It could be, early teens.
Yeah,
because the kids gotta go to work.
I was just thinking about that metaphor, that kid. Yep. Yeah, where like they have to like raise their younger brothers and sisters or whatever, and be like the breadwinner or the second breadwinner.
Pseudo parent.
Pseudo parent. I raised all my my younger brothers and sisters type situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like that's really interesting. I don't know, but I feel like the age of responsibilities has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, that's a good place to start.
It's roughly around, like you said, 18, 19, 20. Well, not 18, 19, but more so 21, 22-ish. Oh, yeah, and somewhere in that range. But yeah, man, really interesting.
I'm back.
You got any more segment
Yeah,
ideas?
I'm back to segment.
I was gonna say because I thought you had one. I think we
I feel
drifted.
like I had another one.
Oh, I wrote it down too. Let me see. Because you had cooler talk, and killing time. I thought there's something else that you had mentioned too.
It was the social media, like I'm trying to think of things you do at work.
Oh yeah.
Killing
That's what we were
time,
talking about. So
social media.
oh, that's what I was gonna say. So like, man, we really get off on a rabbit trail because I had a point that I was gonna make like 10 minutes ago. It's basically like, oh, in that same podcast about the dude with Jim Quick today, he was talking about like asking yourself the right questions. And he said most people who are trying to start a business are trying to like they're asking the wrong questions. Like, you know, should I get an LLC? Should I get a this? Should I get a that? And he was like, none of those questions matter. He said the real question that you have to ask is he said it was something in I forget how he worded it, but it had to do with the customer. Who is my customer? I think that's what it was. Who is my customer?
Yeah.
Cause, or even simpler than that, he's like, the real question is who? Who am I serving? Because, you know, a business doesn't go anywhere if you don't have a customer. Every business has a customer.
Yep.
You know, and so I thought that was really interesting too, because he said we work from the outside in a lot. With like, I got to get the paperwork and I got to get the logo and I got to, you know, get all my ducks in a row. And I think he was saying like, now you got to work from the inside out, which is, you know, who is my customer? Who is my, you know, essentially it's like a target market question.
Right.
And like, who am I really talking to? I was texting Anthony about this today, but like, the other day, but he was listening to it, and I was like, you know, man, like, the more I think about it, like, that's how I have to approach this, where it's like, who am I really talking to? Who am I talking to? I'm talking to people that are similar to me. That's really my following. Whoever my following is gonna end up being, they're gonna be like kind of like me, you know, millennial age, you know, somewhere like post college, you know, maybe married, long time girlfriend. Like you have to like really spell out who this person is,
Yeah.
and it's like what are they thinking? Like really get into the psychology of what, like what they're thinking, what are their frustrations, what do they want to know?
Right. No, that's.
And if you're listening, please, I'm all ears. But go ahead.
No, that's it. Because, like you said, if you're not focused, it's like, who are you talking to?
Right. Like, I mean, it's like that old quote where it's like you can't boil the ocean. You know, like people say like, who's you? I ask people sometimes like, so who are you trying to like? Essentially, who your customer is. I didn't know I was asking that question at the time, but that's kind of what I was getting at. I was like, so you know, whether it was an album or music or whatever, it's like, so like, who's this for? Like, you know, and most people be like, well, it's for everybody. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, everybody. Like, then that means it's for nobody. Like you can't, you know what I mean? Like you can't help everybody. Like you can't serve everybody. Like the everybody products are gone. Like the quote unquote everybody products, like the stuff that Kleenex, you know what I mean? Like that's like those markets are all taken up. Like you got to get specific. Yeah, you got to get a little more specific than that. Like the more specific, the better. And truth be told, I gotta eat my own words here, but you know,
I'm eating them right now. Nail down the exact thing you're talking about.
Yeah, like
with the business, you know, I have an idea, but you know, I'm just at the point, just go do it and adjust on the fly.
Oh yeah, make
At that point,
what's that called? What's it called? A/B testing, I think, where you throw something out there and then make iterations based off of how it's received, and then make changes on the fly as you go. I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, man, you kind of have to sort of like, okay, let me just throw it out there and see if how people respond to it. Oh, okay, they didn't like that. Let me switch that around. Like, let me tweak it. All right, well, okay, that's a little better. All right, let me try this third time. And that's something that's hard for me personally. Like, this is totally out of character for me just doing this right now. But like, cause I'm, man, I'm like I can be in the drawing board all day, coming up with the perfectly like aligned, I got charts and graphs and, like, okay, now if I do this, then it could, and I think it's all like a futile attempt in trying to control everything. You know what I'm saying? And like some things you just kind of have to be messy with and just let it flow.
Yeah,
But
because life is everything you plan never goes as planned.
that's true. That's true.
So it's kind of like why plan.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, truth be told, yeah, in a way, like,
That's what I say.
oh man, you just made me think about something else I read a long, long time ago. Dude was like, it was actually about a book about quitting your job. It was called Quitter, and I need to write this down. I need to go back to this. So what he said was like, passion, practice, plan. That was like the order. And so what you do is you follow the passion, then you just practice the passion, and then once you kind of have enough momentum, then you kind of work the plan around what you got going on already. He said a lot of times we reverse it and start with the plan first.
Yeah.
We want to map everything out. And he related it to like a guy skiing at the top of the hill. And like he was saying how like you can't, that guy can't plan for the dips and the turns and the twists that are down that hill. He has to kind of just go. And then like, okay, the plan has changed. I got to move left now. I got to move right now. You know what I mean? He said he doesn't have a full layout of that hill. I mean, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, he doesn't have a full like layout of the land before he starts skiing.
Right.
He's got to like kind of know that this is the hill I'm supposed to be on. This is kind of where I'm supposed to be at. I know I'm capable enough to kind of do this.
Right.
And I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to flip that analogy too.
Yeah.
I don't go down that route, but that's a good analogy though. I catch it.
Yeah, it's a visual. I mean, but like we all start with the plan, and I think I don't know. I mean, I think we're all kind of taught in some way, shape, or form to plan things out. And not that plans aren't bad, but I can get personally stuck in that planning phase for so long that I'll never move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm with you there. I don't know. It can be. Sometimes with the plan, it's like. Sometimes with your personality, I want to plan, make sure it's perfect. You gotta kind of know yourself, and who you are. That's part of the process too.
That's true.
Knowing like, hey, one of my weaknesses is that I'm a perfectionist. You know what? I gotta get over that.
Yeah.
Just go and do it.
Well, and I heard somebody say that being a perfectionist is like a mirage. Like there is no what you see in your head. Like there is no such thing.
No.
Like you're chasing something that's not even like attainable.
Yeah.
And that was a hard. I mean, it's true. Like deep down that that's true. I mean, there's no perfect whatever, but like in your mind, you're like, but I could just do a little bit. If I just tweak it a little bit more, it would be a little bit more prepared. And you know what's crazy? What I've learned just posting on Instagram and all that, like there are things that like I think are like good posts that they'll get like 5 likes. And then there are things that I'm like, I just stir up there. It's whatever. Like, I thought it was just filling time. And then it gets like a bunch of likes. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? You just can't prepare. You just don't know. Like, it's I don't know. Like, I know what I think is good content or interesting or entertaining or informative. But you don't know. Like, I have no idea what's going to hit and when it's going to hit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Boy.
Just go and do. That's the word.
Yeah, that's true. You just gotta go and do. But
I'm out of segments right now. Back to that.
Oh yeah.
If anything else hits me, I'll shoot
yeah. Just text me. Yeah, right. No, but I like Cooler Talk, man. We could even just sit on that because essentially this is what this whole podcast, this particular episode is really. It kind of feels like it's just a bunch of cool talk because we didn't talk about. There's nothing cubicle related right now that we're referring to. I know the last time you were here, we were talking about how to exercise in the cubicle and kind of stay fit at work and whatnot. I was trying to kind of tie it in, but right now it's just like it's Cooler Talk.
We're just a cooler around a long lunch.
You're right. Actually, you know what? That's gonna be the name of this podcast. Oh, this episode, Cooler Talk. Because I be trying to think of names that stick, that kind of make people want to click. And now I'm like, I like that. I'm rolling with that. So yeah, that'll work. That'll definitely work.
Any movies you seen lately?
Movies. Oh, you know what? No, but I watched Black Mirror. I watched the whole season. Well, all 3 episodes, the latest one.
Dang. Which was the best one? I haven't seen any of them.
Okay. I like the last one with Miley Cyrus.
I was wondering, was that her?
Yeah, I had the same thought. Britt had watched it before me, and she's like, "Yeah, that's her." Because in the image, it looks like, I was like, "That looks like Miley Cyrus."
Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of picked like a celebrity in each episode. Each episode, you're like, "Oh, I recognize it," like a very visible one. Like
I saw Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie's in the first one. The second one, Moriarty from Sherlock. He's the main character in the second one. Yeah. It was cool seeing him in that too. Like it was interesting because all I could think about was Moriarty, and I was like, this dude's a good actor because he had a moment where he was like screaming and like kind of losing it, and I was like, all I see is Jim Moriarty right now, and it was just dope because he actually kind of had more of an emotional, I won't like spoil it, but he was dealing with something, and he really had to kind of dig deep. But it was cool seeing him.
Cold.
Yeah, he wasn't cold and like indifferent and playful as you know what I mean, like gleefully like evil. It was none of that. Like he was really like conflicted and like I don't know, it was weird, but long story short, but like the first one with Anthony Mackie, watch that one, tell me what you think, cuz that one I'm still like it was like disturbing. Like, I mean, in that obviously it was disturbing because it was Black Mirror, but like, I'll tell you this. Like, I wasn't crazy about this season because I can tell you know how all the other Black Mirror seasons are. They're centered around technology, obviously, but like they kind of drop you into a world where like whoa, I've never been in this world before. Like this tech, like these 3 episodes all kind of like were the opposite of that. Where like it felt like it was our world, so it's a little drier, and it kind of moved kind of slow. For me at least at times, where I was like, where's this going? Like I felt like I was asking a question like on the first 2 episodes. The 3rd episode was good. Like they actually had my attention. But the first 2, I was like, this is really dragging. This is really dragging. But it was cool. But I could tell they just took a different approach.
Okay.
It was just more so a matter of preference. Like it wasn't like it was bad. It was just like I just wasn't crazy about how they approached these. I mean, I get it, but I wasn't crazy about it. Yeah. But that first episode, it's about him and his friend. They have this connection through a video game. They're big gamers, and they're college friends, whatever. And then they grow up, and then they have like kind of like we were talking about, like wife, kids, all the life is sucked out of him. Like he's just kind of like a boring dad and all that stuff. And then but his boy brings him his game back and kind of oh man, I remember this. Yeah. And it kind of takes off from there, and it gets really weird. Like it gets weird from there. But me and Britt have like a little debate going on like on what we believe about. Like I'm like, I don't know, man. I think, and she's like, nah, about that. I was like, I don't know, man. I think they, So just watch that one.
Man, I was wanting to see him something different, just to see.
He did a good job. Yeah. I meant to tell you that, like, I'm not crazy about him as an actor, but he did a good job in this because he was like, he really had to kind of like be regular, like kind of tone down and like kind of just be like, because they kind of span him being a college dude into being like a married man. Okay. And he played both very well. Okay. Like it was cool. Like it was believable. I'll say that. Like, oh, I could believe this. But yeah, it was weird. But the 3rd one was cool with Miley Cyrus because it was about her she was a pop star, obviously.
much of a stretch.
Yeah, right. It was real stretch. Right. Shocking. Yeah, she really stretching in her acting chops. But like she was a pop star and she came out with this little doll, like a kind of like a think if Alexa was like a little robot with a face. It's basically Alexa with the face.
Okay.
Okay, but it was channeling like the spirit, like it was the pop star in robot form.
Yeah.
Basically, actually, I would say like she was probably about as big as his mic, and she would walk around and move and and talk but it was really intelligent,
Yeah.
and it got dark. Like I was like, because it was like a commentary on the music industry
Okay.
and how these artists are treated, and it was like, oh, this is evil, and then it was good. It was my favorite one. I was like, oh, this is interesting. It felt more black than like Black Mirror I know.
Okay.
Like, oh, the technology of it was like, this is kind of like because for me, Black Mirror, it really comes down to like, what makes the episodes compelling is the technology. Like, that's something I've never thought about or seen before, and like, but equally the disturbingness of it.
Yeah, and how it can turn.
Yeah.
Quickly.
That one had the perfect blend of both to me. Where I was like, oh, I'm like really creeped out, but I'm so fascinated right now. Like, this is like in the right hands, this could be really interesting, but in the wrong hands, this is terrifying. Like Black Mirror, that was like the perfect like striking balance of both. Where I was like, oh man, this is something else.
I'll check it out, man. I'm still working through season 4, man. I'm just like, if it's not like, it's weird. It's not like a series that's each episode is connected. It's just there's each episode's its own individual
It's its own
story.
thing.
So
Yeah.
I just pop in, catch one, and then catch another one a month later.
Yeah,
Like,
not really. No, right. I'm on a month at a time. No, I mean, to be honest with you, I only watched it because I saw that it was up.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, hey, that's cool. My brother texted me about it. And but I'm way behind. Like, I hop around. I haven't finished any. I think I finished maybe a couple of seasons, like, all the way through.
oh, okay,
But, like, they've got, like, is this the 4th season?
it's the 5th.
5th?
Yeah,
5th? Yeah, okay, sounds about right. So, like, I've watched at least 2 seasons where I've seen most, if not all, of the episodes. But everything else, I've just kind of hopped around based off of referral. Like, oh, let me see. I heard people talking about this. Let me see this.
yeah. I try to go through all of them, man.
I want to. I just wish I had the time to. But I want to because I don't know. They're just interesting. But
Yeah, I was wondering if you see any movies I need to check out because I'm on a bad streak of movies lately.
oh, what you see?
So let's see. I saw Mile, which was
Oh, what you think?
it was cool seeing Octavia Spencer doing something different.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was cool. It's worthy of a red box rent.
Okay.
Maybe
Because
check it on the big screen if you just really want to see it. It's okay.
I saw that trailer. What was that trailer? It was during Us, I think. The trailer.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt conflicted watching the trailer of that. I'm like, I don't know if I want to see this or if I would even like it. Yeah.
If it was anyone else in the lead, I wouldn't have watched it. It was just
Yeah.
for seeing Spencer do
Yeah, something totally left.
out of her realm or normal
Yeah.
her role. So
Like,
wholesome.
right. Well, yeah, because every time I see her, I think of what was that movie, The Help,
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. The Help.
or even what's the other movie, the other black movie,
Help. Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures. That's what it was. Yeah, where she's just like the sweet old. It's not sweet. She's not old, but sweet, like little lady. Yeah. But like, but it's got the fire in her belly. You know what I mean? Like, don't mess with her. Right. She's kind of typecast a little.
A little. Yeah.
I mean, I get it because she kind of looks like that. Like, I'm sweet, but don't mess with me.
Yeah, sure.
But like you said, I think it was interesting seeing her like in the trailer for Ma, where I'm like, this is like, I don't know how I feel about her. Right. Like, cause you're the sweet little lady. Like, you're not supposed to be killing people. Like,
that's what's funny because she plays on that in the movie. So
oh, okay, got you. Yeah.
Then she does a good job flipping, and I could kind of believe it. I'm like, okay, kind of get
Ah,
it.
okay.
Like,
It wasn't too much of a stretch.
yeah, 'cause
Gotcha.
that's the role she was playing. It's kind of a stretch to the plot, and I don't get into it, but yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
What
I
else?
saw that. Saw,
Yeah.
saw X Men.
Oh, you did? Oh man, no! Don't tell me it's not good.
I mean, go ahead and see it.
Oh, because I was actually telling her I was like, I kind of want to see that.
Go, just I will discourage no one from seeing a movie.
Nah, tell me what you think.
But it's just keep your expectations low, man.
For
That's all I
real?
can say.
Oh man.
That's all I can say.
Oh, okay, all right.
There's some cool scenes in there. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, nice.
Because I actually kind of like Jean Grey as a character. I thought she was just a dope like X-Men character. But what? Did you not like the acting or the story?
It's both. Like,
Okay.
I'm not so on the actors. Like,
Oh, okay,
I feel
okay.
like,
Sansa.
yeah,
It's from
so
Game
she
of
was
Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I heard. But
Okay.
yeah, I just they have good actors in it. They got McAvoy. They got Foster.
Oh, I love McAvoy. He's a good Professor X.
And it's just like they're just being wasted. It's just like this is good talent.
Oh, that's talent being
It's like gosh, it's like I'm sorry. but go ahead. And
Nah,
see it.
I mean, yeah, I got you.
Just try to see it for a deal or something.
You know, see it for a deal.
Like matinee or something.
Well, you know, one thing I will say, I was kind of iffy on her. I'm like, I don't know. I that's as much as I gave it. I was like, I don't know, because I know how she is in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an interesting choice because I was like, because we were watching something and I saw her. I was like, oh snap, that's Sansa. Like that's her name in the show. And I was like, how do I feel about that? Is that can she do that? Can she pull that off?
Is
Like,
she really a redhead in real life?
yeah, I think she is.
Okay.
I think she is. Yeah. I mean, I don't think she's that like that much of a red, like not like bold red, but she's like a subtle redhead. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I could have thought maybe a couple other people could have been in that role, but it would have thrown the age thing off. They're different younger guys.
Oh yeah. Well, and I think that was also like a Hollywood move because
Yeah.
that show was so hot.
True.
And like I think somebody saw her and like, you know what?
True.
We could probably capitalize. Like people liked her character a lot
Okay.
on Game of Thrones, and I think that may have had something to do with like she's a redhead. Jean Grey was okay. We can kind of make this. We can make this work.
Yeah, they said something. I heard someone say her accent. Does she have an accent?
She's British, I think.
Yeah, they said she was fighting it during the movie.
Oh really?
I missed it.
Oh okay.
But like she couldn't really get into it because of that. That's what they.
Oh, like the.
Someone more astute than I had noticed with her, with her role and her performance.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's fair.
there was another movie I've seen, but I can't recall at the moment. It's probably not even noteworthy.
It wasn't worth remembering.
Yeah, but that's it.
So-
I want to see
so-
Godzilla. I still just for the spectacle. I'm not even there for the story.
Yeah, you
I
know
just
what,
wanna
though?
See the monster spread his wings.
Yeah,
and all
yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. And I can't front. When I saw the trailer, I kind of felt the same way.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm probably gonna go see this just to see some stuff blow up because I just want to. Because that's just gonna be fun to watch. like, you know what I mean? Like, it just looks cool. I don't even care about. I don't care that much about the story.
I don't need a love story.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that. Like, I just want to see monsters. And
Yeah, I need. Yeah, I want to just see
Scared.
something. Right. I want to be thrilled a little bit. I mean, just as long as the story kind of gets me from point A to point B,
Right.
as long as it's not terrible.
Right.
Like, yeah, nah. That looks good. I feel like there was something else like that I wanted to see. I can't think of it, but
I still want to see Aladdin. I haven't seen that.
oh
yet.
man, I don't know. I haven't seen
I
it,
keep hearing surprisingly people say it's a good movie.
but no, and that's what I hear. I hear
I'm
that.
like, all
I
right,
hear
give
it.
it a shot.
I hear it. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation about Will, but you know, I mean, we've had this conversation plenty of times off air, but I just have so many mixed feelings about. But yeah, like I think it's so much a movie watching is about how much I believe it. And I feel like I'm still trying to wrap my mind around Will Smith being a genie. Like it's something about it I don't want to believe. Like Robin Williams made total sense. vocally,
Oh yeah.
vocal performance. Like it was just like, yeah, that fits. I don't. It just makes sense. I don't know why, but it just makes sense. But like, and Jim Carrey with the mask makes sense.
Yeah.
That dude's a walking cartoon. Like it makes sense.
Oh, yeah,
He's contorts his face. It makes sense. Will Smith, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure. He did it. I'm not saying he can't do it because he did it already. But I don't know, man. It's just like,
Yeah, I'll give him a shot. I'll try to give him the benefit of the doubt. I heard that he did his thing. I'm like, all right, I feel you though. I feel you.
yeah,
It's like it's hard being the second guy
that's true.
that's playing I guess a remake of a previous movie.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
That's true.
memorable. It's
Well,
hard to be
yeah,
the second guy. Come on.
that's a good point. I didn't think about that. That's obvious too. But I didn't think about that because like a remake is always difficult.
Yeah. What's another one? I've seen another movie. It's annoying me. I've been working through Breaking Bad in the meantime.
Oh, how's that? How's that been?
Yeah, I'm late. Yeah, I know. I purposely waited to
Right.
watch Breaking Bad. It's
Like
not
you're like
been
10 years
spoiled.
behind.
And no one spoil it for me, please.
Yeah, right.
I'm enjoying this ride.
Right, I could say that.
No, it's good. It's slow paced, but it's like everyone annoys me on the show. But like all the characters do something that just drives me nuts. But I'm still hooked. So.
Wait, what season are you on?
Season 3.
Okay.
Way through it. So
Yeah, my
I
brother
can
like
kind of
that.
see the potential issues coming about.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, I need to get back to that. Have you? I was gonna ask you about Gotham. Have you picked that up yet or no? Because I've been off it like for a minute.
Man, the end game killed Gotham. Like I hadn't thought about Gotham.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Ever since.
I feel like I was fulfilling the Marvel void in my life.
That's funny.
I was watching
Okay,
Gotham
got you.
in
Yeah.
the meantime.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, last time I watched it was when Endgame came out. Man, I haven't watched
That's
it
funny,
since.
man.
I forgot where I left off at. Like season 4, maybe.
Yeah, because I forget what's even happening. Like,
I barely remember what Gordon's doing. Like barely. I think he's
yeah.
with Falcone's daughter, kind of thing. I don't know if you got that far.
Falcone's daughter.
She lived on I think she lived on some exotic island or.
Oh, no, I
Italy
definitely
or
ain't got that far.
something.
I definitely ain't got that far. I ain't heard nothing about the exotic island.
I mean, it looks like it. They're on a beach or something.
Nah, I don't remember seeing this.
She was out of the crime mob's life, and like
He
she
got a
said
secret
she could do it.
Oh, nah. Yeah, okay, so you're ahead of me then.
Alright.
Yeah, nah, I haven't even. Yeah, man.
I'll get back into it at some point. So the Agents of Shield started back up, so I started watching that. So
Oh, yeah.
so Gotham is,
I
you
was,
know,
I
it's definitely.
That's funny. It's funny. It's like Gotham was a placeholder just for like we talk about that though. Me and Britt like how like certain shows like we'll watch, but if another show comes on that we really like, that show could gets kicked to the curb, and it's like you know what, you were just filling the void for a minute, because we had this real deep conversation like why haven't we finished so many shows? There were so many shows we haven't finished, and then we would like, kind of double back and think, oh, that's because such and such came on.
Right.
Oh, that's because such. Okay, that's good. Like as soon as that one show that you really, it's like, all right, I'm good. Thank you for your time.
Right. What happened this week? I think Jessica Jones comes out Friday. I think.
Yeah.
Sometime this week.
Yeah, it does.
So Breaking Bad probably get cast off to the
Right. You know what's funny though? I feel like somebody needs to categorize like shows where it's like these are good meantime shows, like good filler shows. Like this is a good show to watch just for a while. Like, well, I guess people do that already because. Like when people are waiting for Game of Thrones to come back, they're like, "Well, until this come back, why don't you watch like these 5 shows? These are some options." Yeah. But it's kind of like, this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a B. It's not an A.
Yeah. It's like.
Like this is cool for the time being, but if Shield comes back on, or if like Walking Dead, or if something else comes back on, I'm on it. Like don't even beat it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So.
My bad. Sorry.
No, you good, man. Probably should wrap this up. This is probably the longest we've. Was an hour and 11 minutes.
New podcast record for
Yeah, man.
episode
Podcast
3.
record. Breaking records out here. Yeah, I probably need to go. Kind of wind down here. All right. Well, appreciate you guys listening to us ramble. This episode is officially going to be called The Cooler Talk. So, it's just kind of miscellaneous. Until next time. Thanks for listening.